Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I am back. It's your girl, Tico Amoris, or TK with a sizzle. Because I always bring the hot topics, and what we're focusing on is getting a new mindset in the year of 2022. So I hope you had a nice Christmas. Mine was wonderful. It was grand. I was able to relax and spend time with family. Although we all sort of shared the same sentiment that it didn't really seem as, Christmases of past. It just didn't really quite have the same sense of the Christmas spirit. But we were still able to come together, and so hopefully you all were able to do the same. All right. So we are going to pick up where we left off. I know you guys are like, TK kind of just left us hanging. I promise you I didn't, but I work. Your girl be out here working. So I'm just going to start from day 16. And we're just going to jump right on into it. So I have my little notes here. So I'll be reading from notes. Don't knock me later. But what I want to talk about for December the 16th, as we are developing new habits to take into the new year, we're just going to stay curious. Now, when I say stay curious, what I mean is we are going to proactively seek out knowledge, information, and just different tools and methods and different events and phenomena that kind of open our minds up and helps to propel us forward in the things that we are engaged in the year of 2022, whether it be personally, whether it be in the business realm, or even spiritually. We're going to proactively look at things that we may not really be exposed to. We're going to go seeking knowledge. There we go. Now, it's not that all knowledge is hidden, but sometimes we're just not thinking to go out there and look for new thoughts, new schools of thought, new ideas, new skills. So we're going to stay curious, and we are going to allow our minds to sort of venture off into seemingly different directions or different paths, and take what we are able to learn and see how we can make it fit in to the grand scheme of all that we're trying to accomplish, not just in 2022, but beyond. Things that we can establish, permanently. They just become a part of our fiber. So stay curious, y'all. Stay curious. I'll give you an example. For me, I actually have gotten into watching lectures. Some of these lectures are like 2 hours long, but they are so cool. Lectures from neurologists. And you're thinking, well, why would she want to, she's a painter. She's a voice teacher. She's worked in sales. She's been a supervisor. Yeah, because you get into the mind. These professors and these doctors, they understand the human mind and psychology, and some of the information that they're able to bring forth and put down into a practical level, very useful across a myriad of activities that we could get involved in. So I like it. That's just one example of staying curious, you guys. Staying curious. You dig? All right, so moving on. Day 17. So number 17. Here's what we're going to do starting January the 1st, 2022. You're going to become a journalist. Aha! What? We're talking about tried and true stuff. As you're developing new habits and you are stepping into a new, season in your life where you are now trying to elevate, you're embarking on a new journey, you're going to track your journey and your progress simply by writing about it. You see, this isn't new. I mean, this is stuff that we've known for years, but we just haven't put it in practice. And so I'm just giving you the reminder that you need to go to Staples or Walmart or Target or wherever you go to buy all of your office stationery, and you need to buy a new journal. A new nice one, crisp pages. Get some with the calligraphy name on the front. I mean, just however fancy you need it to be so that you feel motivated to write in it and so that you feel inspired that everything that you are writing in that journal is sacred and valuable. Get the journal and start writing about what you're experiencing as you elevate in 2022. You dig? All right, moving on. Day 18, consider a new method, a new style, a new skill, a new process. Just consider. Because what I want to tell you is you've been doing the same old thing for far too long. You're actually stuck in your ways. You didn't know that? Oh my God, you're the worst. You hate change. You hate change. You can't take suggestions from anyone because it's not the way you do things. And the way you do things is right. But here's the problem. You want to progress now. You want to exceed what you've been doing. You want to, or you have an expectation that in all of your well-doing, you're going to get a different outcome. Here is the problem. You're not setting yourself up properly with your expectations because you're trying to get a different result, but you're doing the same thing. So you know what I'm saying? You got to change it up. And you need to consider new ways of doing things. When those new people who just joined your company, they just got hired and they're coming in with all their big ideas, I can't stand that, by the way. You present something new just because it's out of the box. People just get on high alert and oh my God, it's so stupid. No, it's not stupid. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, it does make sense to them because guess what? They've probably already been doing it that way. So it might be different from how you do things, but give it a try. Be open to it. Now, of course, you got to assess the risk and you have to leave room for a small margin of error, especially if this is something new that you are trying out. You just got to be open to trying something new. Don't stay set in the same old habit of doing things the same old way because you want a different result. And sometimes in order to get a different result, you have to not just think outside of the box, but you have to do outside of the box. Okay? All right. Moving on. I like this one. I could do more of this. I haven't been doing any of this. But in 2022, do you know what TK is going to be doing? Honey, I'm going to be taking advantage of leisure time. I never take leisure time. I'm always working. I'm a workaholic, especially in the year of 2022. Or I'm sorry, no, that's what I will be doing. I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting. Yes, leisure. But in the year of 2020 and 2021, essentially, I just worked, especially as I've had to take a pivot. I've been working my fingers to the bone, chomping at the bit. I've been out here, just workaholic, laboring. But it's been a labor of love. I enjoy everything that I do, but I will admit that sometimes the rigors of owning your own company and working for yourself, it can be a bit inundating and you need to just kind of get centered. And taking leisure is up there with meditating and tapping into some type of spiritual plug. I'm a Christian, so I know to tap into the source, right? But you still have to sort of decompress, right? So now I'm not going to just take labor. I'm not going to take leisure on a whim. I'm scheduling it. Now you can do this too. Your life may be set up a little bit differently than mine. I work on Saturdays, so I'm just taking small baby steps into leisure. And I promise myself that I'm going to take at least one Saturday off a month. Just one Saturday off a month. Now, for you may not be able to do that, but you might want to once a quarter, you take the whole weekend off. You know what I'm saying? Once every 3 months. I mean, you workaholic. I know you can do at least once every 3 months. You just take the whole weekend off and you do what you do. Mini vacay, staycation, whatever you want. Veg out, chill with the peeps. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do, you have to do leisure more frequently. Laughter is good for the soul. So is good food. So is just enjoying time with the ones you love. This all helps to keep you well balanced, well rounded, emotionally, mentally, and physically too. Okay? So we're going to do a little more leisure, a little bit more. That doesn't mean you won't hustle, but you're going to have a little fun too. All right? Work hard, play hard. There you go. See? Not new. Moving on. All right. So you know what else we're going to do in 2022? I know you're probably thinking, okay, I mean, what more? She said so many, because we're at 22. We're at 20 things now. So this is like day 20. All right. But here's what we're going to do. Day 20, December 20th. This is what I was thinking about. You got to volunteer more in the community. Now, me, I do it. I definitely do it. And it doesn't have to be a big effort, right? In 2014, I started my own nonprofit. It's still active today, although we have to operate differently, but it's still active today. And you know how I started this part of the nonprofit, the outreach part, which was going out and feeding the homeless. We just started with feeding the homeless on Thanksgiving. I started with me and my sons. They were so little, but it was just us. We just cooked a bunch of meals. We packaged them up. We drove around to the side of town where we knew we'd run into some people who would appreciate a hot meal. And that is what we did. That was in 2014. Just me and the boys. And then years later, I have amassed a group of volunteers who are already on schedule. They're on deck, and every Thanksgiving and even throughout the year, we set up shop and we hand out hot meals. We hand out essential packages called Go Packs, and we give clothes and just cards for different resources, whatever, resource they can use in the community. You know what I'm saying? This is just our little part. We don't mind doing it. We love to do it. And you know what? It is so much more rewarding than purchasing any piece of material item you could think of. I mean, yeah. It's just a greater level of gratification. You know what I'm saying? You can't put a material on it. I'm just thankful, that throughout the years I've been fortunate enough to be put in a position where I'm able to help others who are less fortunate. Okay? And I think many of us are in the same boat. So if you are looking to make a meaningful impact in 2022, and you would rather, use some of that fortune and share it amongst some folks who would really appreciate it, then get involved with the community. It doesn't have to be the same thing I did. There are many things that you could do in the community. Maybe you are, giving a free business class to teenagers who are about to graduate high school. Or maybe you are a chief financial officer. Hey, and you want to give these college students, they're the 2022 graduates and they're about to get into college. Maybe you just want to do a quick little class on how to effectively manage your budget in college, how to avoid debt in college, or if you get a credit card, how to manage it, because you know about finances because you're the chief financial officer. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, all I'm trying to say is get more involved in your community. Doesn't have to be a big thing, but any little thing helps, and a little help goes a long way. Moving on. 21, December 21st. You know what I thought about when I added it to this list? See, I know I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys because, again, I work, but I'm thinking about this stuff all the time. How are we going to elevate in 2022? Because life is not going to be the same as it used to be. We can't say, we want things to get back to normal. No, we don't. No. I'm not going to say the C word, but it's already been here. It already came. It's already changed the way that we're living now. Right? Life is different, but we do want to elevate. We don't want to stay at the same level in life. We don't want to continue toiling and not really getting where we want to go in life. Or if you're a visionary like myself and so many other people, you're already seeing the type of future that you want to have, that you want to walk into, and you're trying to figure out what are some steps that I can take to get there. You got to start by transforming your mind. This is why I've been thinking about these steps that we can take in the year 2022. And on December the 21st, 2021, I thought about this. You got to declutter. And I know what you're thinking. Okay, well, that's not new because we do spring cleaning, of course. But see, yeah, that's the herd complex mindset that you. I'm not talking about following the herd because everyone's spring cleaning in March. Now you're going to do it too. No, that's not what we're talking about. You don't really have to wait until spring to clean up the clutter in your life. What are you talking about? Now you got clutter. Now, I'm not talking about in your closet where you have mounds and mounds of designer clothes and shoes and bags and suits and and you have so many things that you're always kind of like digging through just to find one, one outfit to wear or what have you. We're not talking about on that level, but in your life, what are the things that are like clogging up your life? you got clutter. What's the clutter that's clogging up your entire life? You have like a lot of external pieces that are sort of attached to you in life. And it doesn't have to be people. It could be activities. It could be mindsets cluttering up, But you have these little external pieces that are beginning to just pile up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's habits, mindsets, biases, honey. Because a lot of people have biases. We all do. We just don't like to admit them. But if you admit it to yourself, at least, even if you say it quietly, you can say, I actually do have a bias. These things are cluttering up your life. It's time to declutter. Chances are it's the clutterization that you're experiencing in life right now that's stagnating you the most. So we're not talking about waiting until the spring to clean the clutter. No, you actually can start now. If you just heard this video, you can start decluttering right now. And you know what it is. I don't have to tell you. You already know. I'm just reminding you. It's time to clean it up. Clean it up, dear. Clean it up. Moving on. December 22nd. I love this one. Y'all don't even realize. This one I love the most probably today. This is probably my favorite one on the list. But we are going to learn a new word every week. Why? Not to impress people. When I'm not speaking to impress anybody. I'm just kind of speaking what's on my mind, or the opposite of that. If I feel like something that I'm saying or something that I am going to say will not be received, then I just won't say anything. I'll just keep my mouth closed. But one thing about me that some of you may or may not be surprised to know is ever since I was young, a little lad, I used to read the dictionary. I think it's fun. I love words and I love language. So to me, this is my favorite. Some people, it might be a task, but you're going to learn a new word every single week. That way, when people say things to you like juggernaut and it's used in a way that you don't actually use it, you won't be thrown off. It shouldn't throw you off if someone uses the word juggernaut in a way that's, not traditional, or in a way that you just haven't heard it, because you've been studying the word juggernaut for a whole week. So you know that it can have various uses now. As a matter of fact, that is the word of this week. Juggernaut. Look it up. Get into it. Moving on. All right. Now, I like this one too, because as I was studying the dictionary as a kid, because I loved it, and this is, just one of those things that I like to do. When I was young and didn't have a television to watch, I couldn't watch in living color. I used to have to perpetrate it. I couldn't watch Bart Simpson. I had to perpetrate it and act like I was. You know what I'm saying? I have the TV, but still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still not a TV person. I'd rather read a book or read the dictionary. And day 23, we're reading more books. But are we reading random books? No. Are we reading self-help books? Nah, I wouldn't say a self-help book. But I would read books like The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Something like that. Something that you can actually apply in a practical way. And why am I saying that? Because you're trying to elevate. So, no, we're not just reading random books. You know what I'm saying? We could, but that's not what we're doing. No, we're not reading. Who was the guy that did the Rainmaker? Man, I can't remember it's escaping me right now. But I used to read all of his books back in the day. I was hooked on those crime novels. What's his name? Oh, it'll come to me. But in any case, we're going to read things that elevate our mind. See, we're going back to the diet. I talked about the diet last week. We're going to go back to that diet, and we are going to put in some good fuel here in our mind, in our body, and in our spirit. And so we're going to read things that help us elevate. We're going to read things that are, educational, informative. I'm not going to say boring, because the information is not boring. I never find information boring if my mind can quickly access how I can use it and make it benefit me. So no, the information may be scholarly, I don't know. But if you can find that it can help you in any way, even try to learn speed reading. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to read everything line by line. That can be inundating, and it can be hard to do if you're booked and busy, honey. If you are booked and busy, I get it. It can be hard to do. So you don't have to do it that way. You can just skim through, learn speed reading, learn to read for the subjects. You know what I'm saying? What are like the main ideas? Kind of skim for the main ideas. You got a journal now, because I just said you're going to be journaling now, So, hey, journal. What did you read today? Journal. What was your takeaway for the 10 pages that you read a day? Journal it. Write about it. And, ponder on it. How can I make this work? Para mí. Moving on. Day 24. I think this is good. This is something that I probably should do too, but I haven't done it. I thought about different groups that I could join. And I still need to do it. I just haven't made a decision. So, I've gotten a few offers and opportunities to join these, but I'm talking about peer groups. Join a peer group. You need to be, I talked about connecting and collaborating with a partner, or connecting with friends or family members or peers, people that maybe you used to have a connection to and then you kind of lost it. And I'm just saying, let's get back into that. But also, I kind of think you want support, and you want to be able to offer support on a larger scale. So join a peer group. My opinion, when you join a peer group, this is my take on it. Yes, because I'm multicultural. I am. I mean, even genetically, I'm multicultural. Because I'm multicultural, and I've been exposed to a lot of different cultures. I kind of grew up that way. In my mind, automatically I'm thinking, if I'm going to join a peer group, I want this thing to be diverse so I can meet all types of people and blah, 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 blah. Right? But I think about it again, and I'm like, in life, I want to meet all types of people. I want to do business with all types of people. But if this is a peer group, I think I probably can more closely connect to individuals who are sort of like me. We kind of have the same interests. We have the same commonalities. We share the same experiences in life. We share the same experiences in business or in music or in art. These are people that, are just very similar to me. And that's where I think would be the best place to start as far as joining a peer group. I want to be in a group where I can relate to the people who are spearheading the group, and they have my interest in heart. When I consider who I am as an individual, what my belief systems are, and things of that nature. I I still have the dream to connect with people, just across cultures. But unfortunately and sadly, we all are different. There are a lot of cultural differences sometimes, and to insert yourself in an area where you're not really understood, or the direction of the group doesn't really cater to the things that can really help nurture your growth and development, it's not going to serve you well. So join a peer group, but join one. Well, my personal opinion, join one where you can relate to the people and the people can relate to you. Period. That's what I be talking about. See, y'all don't understand that. Only some people are going to catch the reference. Okay, so here we go. Here is the December 25th. What was I thinking about on Christmas Day when I was comprising this list of things that you guys can take into 2022 as you are transforming your mind? And you know what it was? On December 25th, 2021, I decided, hey, we're going to practice more humility. Now, me, I'm just a humble person in general. I don't necessarily have to get the pat on the back. I don't have to be the person getting the attention when I walk in the room. And I don't mind helping people. I don't need to sit there and talk about how great I am, how nice my clothes are. I mean, I don't know. I've just been exposed to a lot of situations, and I don't mind. I don't mind using manners. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I just don't. I'm just a very humble person. And I hate to even say that, because if you're humble, you don't have to say it. It's in your actions. But it's just, I've been told that many times. I'm just humble. But what I have found in my humility, there are two sides to this. I have found that a humble child will taste the graces of life, which is what I was taught. It's what my parents taught me. So I know that in humility, I don't use it to manipulate. It's genuine. It's sincere. It's genuine humility. But I know that because of being humble, I do believe that there have been more opportunities afforded to me because of that. Okay? So if you're thinking about wanting to elevate, I know it seems sort of, I don't want to say it's debasing, but sometimes the lower you get, the higher you go. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. But on the other side of that, what humility does not do, humility does not, it doesn't drown out your voice. And if you're ever put in a situation where, although you have a humble nature, but you do decide to ask questions about something that you do not understand, or that you may not agree with, or that you provide an opinion about something that affects you, and you're told that you're not being humble, that's a problem, and it's not your problem. All right? Humility is not going to silence you. That doesn't mean that you're silent and you accept any and every type of situation. That's not humility. Okay? That is not humility. All right? You can still be humble, but still have a voice. Okay? All right. So, but we're going to practice more humility. Maybe here's a tip. Try saying the word I a lot less. I and me. Let's say those a lot less. Okay? In the year of 2022. So that is all that I have for you. And one final prescription para ti. All right? Be not weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. What does that mean? Well, don't get tired. Don't give up when you're doing the right thing, because when it is your time, all of the benefits of you doing the right thing, you will be rewarded. All right? You're going to be rewarded with those benefits if you continue doing the right thing. Just don't give up. All right? And on that note, I gotta go to work. I'm out. Till next time. Deuces, everybody.